Hey, what's up guys? It's Rio here, back with another video. In today's video, I just wanted to make a quick one about deadlift shoes. So what are they, and do you need to wear them or not if you're deadlifting? So a couple specific deadlift shoes that are made specifically for deadlifting is the Sabo deadlift shoe and the Notorious lift shoe. There's numerous other ones out there that I am not overly familiar with. But there's many other shoes that you can obviously deadlift in. But why deadlift shoes? And really, how badly do you need them? So what are deadlift shoes? Basically, they're shoes or even slippers that are very, very low to the ground with minimal heel height. The idea is that you're super low to the ground and that will maximize your leverage for the deadlift. Now, whether that's the sumo deadlift or the conventional deadlift, both of them, it helps a lot to have some sort of flat-soled shoe. Now, often I have a couple shoes here. I wear sometimes these Vans, and I find they work really well. There's a really grippy sole on most any Vans, and I find they work really good. And then I also have like a wrestling shoe, and these, they're not as grippy on the bottom. They're not bad, but on some surfaces they're not so overly grippy. But these are very, very low, and I find wrestling shoes often are cheaper than some of the deadlift shoes. And I've had a couple pairs of wrestling shoes. These, I'm not sure even the brand is Podarsek or something. I just bought them here in Thailand on Lazada. Very, very affordable shoe. So I actually measured myself in these Vans compared to being barefoot, and they were 3/4 of an inch at the heel. So that was actually quite a bit more than I expected it to be, and I imagine it's going to definitely affect my overall strength in the deadlift. Now these wrestling shoes, they were significantly less, but they're still almost a half an inch of a heel on here. I don't know about the heel to toe ratio, but overall they're like still a half an inch off the ground. I would never have expected it. They seem much thinner than that, and especially the wrestling shoes, they don't weigh very much. They're quite light, but there's still an extra half inch there. So I was looking into other shoes, and I've never actually purchased any specific deadlifting shoe before, but it looks like especially the deadlifting slipper is going to be the very lowest to the ground. I've heard of some being like 3 or 4 millimeters, and that would be obviously ideal. But the other thing you have to think about if you do the sumo deadlift is you need some lateral stability. You don't want the shoe to roll. So if they're a cheap shoe or they don't fit perfectly, then they're probably not going to be the best for a sumo deadlift. For a conventional deadlift, I think it's less picky as to what kind of a shoe you have. You just want something that's low to the ground to maximize that leverage and also to maximize stability. But with sumo deadlift, you definitely want something that's going to fit very well, not going to roll on you, and very grippy sole, which is why I like the Vans. The Vans, they're very grippy underneath. They never slide on me. They're really, really nice that way. The wrestling shoe is actually, though, lower, but it tends to roll on me. It seems like it doesn't fit quite perfect for my foot, and just not quite as grippy on the bottom. So I've still never had what I would call a perfect deadlifting shoe myself. But the bottom line is, no matter what kind of a lifter you are, you definitely don't want to do a deadlift in a running shoe. Like, if you have a running shoe, just take the shoes off and deadlift in sock feet or bare feet if you can. It would just be a smarter idea. Because running shoes, they're soft, they're going to cause you to be much more unstable, especially when lifting heavy weights. So you just really don't want to use running shoes. And that heel to toe ratio is going to be that much more. They're not meant for lifting heavy weights, they're meant for running. It doesn't have to be a specific deadlifting shoe. I take deadlifting pretty seriously as I do competitive powerlifting, but I've still never had an official deadlifting shoe or slipper. Still looking for that perfect one, but basically you just want something that's a flat sole. If you're gonna do deadlifts, anytime you do deadlifts, just remember to wear something with a solid and flat sole, as low to the ground as possible. Now, if anybody has any recommendations for deadlift shoes that they've tried or that they've heard good things about, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Now, I'm also an online and in-person personal trainer and strength coach. So if you're interested in any kind of training, you can message me, comment below on this video. I'm also pretty active on Instagram as I'm currently chasing a 300 kilogram deadlift. All right, thanks for watching. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.